everybody. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. Today is Monday, September 28th, and I am Ashley Fields with Yard Us. Give me just 1 second, y'all. I am trying to get all of my comments hooked up. I am having my camera angle pointed down, so that's kind of different than what I normally do. This piece is 28 inches tall, and I believe it's 27 inches wide. So it's a little bit on the bigger side compared to normal items I'm painting. So therefore, I thought that we would do the downward angle or the bird's eye kind of view. That way you guys could see a little bit better. So it might take me a minute for the relay for my comments to come on. So hey Carla, hey Debbie, how are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well this evening. I am still a bit under the weather. Let's see, it's been a full week now of not feeling all that great. So I've still been staying at home and, you know, just trying to get better. Hoping maybe next week will be a new week and I'll feel a lot better. But how's everybody doing this evening? I'm so glad that y'all are here with me. Let's see, it's Monday. So what did I do this weekend? Let's see. I gotta thank y'all. This weekend, we didn't really do a whole lot because I wasn't feeling that great. And then Zach started to get sick himself. So we kind of hung around the house a little bit. I will tell you guys that on Saturday, I had Zach take, or maybe a Sunday, I had Zach get my tree out of the attic. So I started putting up my Christmas tree. I'm so excited. Hey Mom, hey Joyce, how are you guys? I'm Joy, Pam, I'm so glad y'all are all here. Thank y'all for coming. So yeah, I started to get my Christmas tree put up. Excuse me, I have a 10-foot tree, so it comes in 4 sections. So I have my bottom 3 sections kind of fluffed and done with some burlap and ribbon on them. I haven't even put my 4th section on, nor have I added my bows or my ornaments or anything else. But I'm so excited, y'all. I am a little Christmas crazy. I totally decorate like multiple months before anybody else decorates. But you know what? I'm totally fine with that because I absolutely love Christmas. And I feel like 2020 has been such a crazy year. And if I can do anything that's going to put a smile on my face, that's putting up my Christmas decorations. That absolutely puts a smile on my face. And so I was kind of ready for some cheer in my life. And I asked Zach to get in the attic and get down our tree. And he happily took care of that and brought our tree down. And so I actually started working on getting that put up. We already got my daughter's tree put up in her room. So we are already in the Christmas season in the Fields family house. I hope you guys are all doing well. So tonight we're going to start painting our vampire gnome. So I started with 2 coats of white, and then I have my base coat of gray. I want to say it's number 24. I don't have my paint list in front of me. Excuse me. I'm still getting over this cold, y'all. And then I have flesh, black, regular red. I believe it might be number 20. And those are pretty much all the colors on my vampire gnome. So let's get started. I'm going to start by shading. Y'all, this color I've already had pre-mixed. All it is your regular gray with a touch of black, like a couple of drops of black into it. So it's just a hint darker. And I am using my Royal Gold shader, or my flat wash brush, and it is a number 16. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because y'all know I can talk for hours and just chit chat. But I'm only loading the corner. Notice my entire brush is not full, just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my gray, and I'm going to start shading it with this. I'm going to call it shading gray, but it's not an actual mixed color that comes, you know, in a jar that you can purchase. This is a color I mixed on my own. So I took that gray and kind of came across on that perimeter line, and now I'm just using the excess that's left inside of my brush to add a couple of wispy lines. So I am going to kind of turn this thing around. Ooh, knocking brushes off. Let me see if I can adjust the angle just a little bit. Let me pick up my brushes too. I am trying to, I was kind of going on a spiel at the beginning of the video, but I'm trying to kind of give you guys a little bit of a better angle. So again, I only loaded the corner of my brush, and I'm taking that corner and I'm butting right up to those lines that are already there from my CNC. Load my brush again, start on the corner, and fulfill that line all the way to the next corner. That's what's going to give you those long swipes that look very fluid. You got to just keep moving with that brush from your start to your stop point in order to get really fluid lines. So also guys, since my camera is up like in the bird's eye kind of angle or view, I'm not able to see comments like I normally am. I usually look at comments on my phone, though I have an iPad in front of me, because my phone seems to give me notifications sooner than my iPad. So if I am not seeing comments quickly tonight, my sincerest apologies, but I'll make sure that I go back at the end and double check in case if I missed anything. So I see a dog hair right here. Y'all, I have 3 dogs, so dog hair is just one of those things that I constantly have everywhere around me. I am obviously taking the paint that I already have left in my brush. I'm not loading anymore. And now when I'm coming to add some swish marks into here, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at all the open space, and I kind of want to fill that in with something. So I'm going to take that brush and what I already have left in my brush, and I'm going to lightly and very gently kind of swipe over the top of it. So watch how I'm doing this. It is very light strokes. Very, very light strokes. And I think y'all can see that in the paint whenever my stroke's coming across. So whenever I'm adding any little bit of swish marks onto my shading, I'm not putting any pressure down, and I'm also not loading more paint. I'm using what's already existing inside of this brush. So my gray is done. I'm gonna go ahead and clean out this brush right quick because I am gonna reuse it over and over with this piece. So let me get this dark gray cleaned out. And again, the dark gray was mixed with our regular gray and a couple of drops of black. And you can make it as light or as dark as you want. This color is not a color that we have kind of pre-done in our palette. It is a color that we create based off of paints that we have inside of our palette. So just gray and a little bit of black. Now I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my beard blue. Again, I don't have a paint list in front of me. I might have one over here I can look at. Let me see. No, I got my hopes a little up. It's an invoice for material. But that's beard blue. I think it's number 4. I'm not 100% sure. Please don't quote me. But it is beard blue on our palette. It might be number 3. I'm not 100%. But I just kind of mixed it up a little bit because it's separated. And now I'm going to go with my shader, and I'm going to dip it in that corner. This is a number 16 Royal Gold brush. And I'm going to back it up right to those corners. So we're going to use that beard blue on obviously a beard tone. And you can also use the same blue on snow. So now when it comes to the teeth of the vampire, kind of right here, I did try multiple different versions before I did my finished look on him. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm sick. And I'm still not feeling very great, so I got a very scratchy throat. But I kind of brought in some beard blue across here before I did my finished look on him, and I didn't care for that. And then I brought some black in there to kind of like fill it in like a mouth, and I didn't care for that. I brought some red in there like a tongue, and I didn't care for that. So the way that I'm going to show you guys this is the way that I felt looked best. But you know, if you guys want to do something a little bit different than with the mouth, or even obviously the whole piece, definitely go for it. I'm kind of just gonna take a little bit of that beard blue and go and do a little bit of perimeter shading. And then I'm using that excess that's already in my brush and kind of doing a couple of light wispy strokes on here. Nothing much, just a little bit. And as you guys can see, I've used a lot of that blue in my tip, but I do still have a little bit in the middle. And that's kind of what's showing me how much I loaded into that brush. What you load into your brush is what's gonna help you to have the most fluid and longest motions. So that part is something that's very, I think, important to pay attention to, that might be more beneficial for you if you're somebody who struggles with shading. I feel like shading is one of those things that me personally, I felt like I struggled with for a really long time. And over the years, I've kind of realized that the little details that add up to how you go about shading really make a difference. And so I want to try to give you guys as many tips as I possibly can, because I don't want y'all to have to spend as long as time learning how to shade as I did. So this is my shading flush. It's a little bit empty, so I'm just going to get it refilled. And let me see where my water is. Oh, there we go. I need to add a little bit of water to it. Anytime I'm shading or I'm outlining, I always add more water to my paint because it gives me more fluid strokes that last a lot longer, meaning that paint lasts a lot longer in a single stroke. Beard blue number 3. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. I did have a paint palette over here on my table, and I'm not sure what happened to it. I really couldn't tell you. But I opened the garage doors on Zach's shop at the very back of my shop, and then I opened my doors at the front of my shop. And so when there is a lot of wind, it seems to really carry things. So if I had to guess, my paint sheet probably got carried away with some wind. All right, y'all, I'm getting a little bit of that shading flesh. If you don't have shading flesh in your palette, you could always take regular flesh and add a single drop, maybe 2 drops of red, and start to make the shading flesh. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over. This is a Royal number 12 flat brush or flat wash. I simply am switching over to this one because it is a lot thinner than my number 16. When I'm doing my nose, the nose is the thinnest part that you're gonna be shading. So you're always gonna you're typically gonna want like a thinner kind of shading brush. Now, this is also a newer brush. It's not broken in quite like my number 16 is. So you guys will see a little bit more of a kind of a stroke mark left behind from this newer brush as opposed to my older one. So like I can definitely see more streaks in it. I don't know if you guys can from the angle that you're at or how far away you are from my piece, but there's definitely a different stroke in the newer shader. All right, I threw that one back in the water, and we're gonna add a little bit of red onto the vampire's cape. Y'all, Danae had posted, I had posted a photo of this, and I had let you guys know that I was gonna go live tonight at 7. And Danae had posted on the comment section of this photo, and she did her gnome, I think she did it purple with a red cape. And it was precious. I absolutely loved it. It was so, so cute. And since I had done that pumpkin gnome purple, I didn't want to do this one purple because then I felt like if you wanted both pieces, they would end up really clashing. But I loved this gnome in the purple. I thought it was so, so cute. All right, so I did a little bit of red on that perimeter. Again, I'm not reloading my brush. I'm using what I have existing inside of my brush. And I'm very, very lightly, hardly any pressure, doing a couple of swish marks on there. I try to kind of use the direction of those swish marks based on the direction that the pumpkin is going. Or the pumpkin, excuse me. The piece is going. I was thinking about pumpkins, y'all. I've been painting pumpkins today. So I feel like the cape is going outward, so my swish marks are kind of gonna go outward. So shading red is what I used on my red. I'm done with shading red. I can cap that. Excuse me. I'm gonna put my shader up because I'm actually done with my shader. Now, I have a dry version. There is your version completely shaded. I do have a dry shaded version, so I'm gonna just kind of switch out. All right. Now, if you're doing this piece and you're trying to do this piece quickly, and you need the different outline colors to dry quickly, I'm gonna start with your blue. Your blue backs in right here into your black outline, and right here your blue backs into your black outline. But then on your mustache, these lines coming up here back into your shading red outline as well. And so the blue just seems to me to be one that makes more sense to kind of start with, because it backs into a lot of the colors more than they back into the blue. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Whenever I'm doing lines, I want my other lines to kind of cover them. Now, really technically, I would want to come in here with a black line if I wanted these two mustache lines to cover. But since I kind of make that decision based on the lines intersecting and how many lines I'm having to deal with, that's how I make the decision as what outline color I start with. That might be really detailed for some of you. Some of you might be like, I haven't even thought about that. But that's how I decide what I'm gonna outline. I'm really looking for the lines that butt into each other. So on the mouth and the teeth, yes, that black line is gonna butt into this navy blue that I'm outlining my beard blue with, but I'm okay with that because all of the other times that these lines are gonna butt up together, it's gonna be a lot more of the black butting into the other colors. So right now I'm just kind of following along with those lines that are already etched with my CNC. Y'all, I feel like I'm really talking a lot, like probably too much this evening. This is kind of different having my camera angle like this because I'm not able to see questions and comments as easily. So therefore, I feel like I'm having to fill in time with my own commentary. All right, y'all, I'm just filling in these lines. The good thing about this when I'm doing like a double outline piece, meaning I'm using different colors to do my outlining, is that whatever color I'm using last can really clean up the lines of the first color. So, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Made a little boo-boo. I'm not gonna so much worry about these lines because I already know I'm gonna come in there with a little bit of black. So over top of my swish marks, I'm gonna take all that paint off, offload that brush, and then kind of add in a couple of marks. Switch down to the bottom and do the same, outlining your beard blue with navy blue number 6. Alrighty, offload and come in on those swipe marks. I don't know what is my iPad's problem, but it does not want to show me comments. Oh, Joyce, no, talk away. Thank you, Joyce. You guys, it has been a week of feeling kind of really crummy. And I don't know if y'all are tired of hearing me sound crummy, but I'm kind of tired of hearing myself sound crummy. And I'm ready to be feeling better. My mom will call me almost every day. How are you feeling? I'm like, oh, I still feel bad. But I told her, give me 14 days because every time I get the cold sinus kind of, you know, mumbo jumbo going on, it always lasts like 12 to 14 days. And so, like I said earlier, I've just been kind of staying at home and working when I'm not in bed, laying in bed because I can't really do much, but I've been feeling decent enough that I can work, but not quite decent enough to, you know, get dressed and go anywhere. So all I'm doing is coming in with that black. I'm still using my script liner. This one is a Royal Gold number 4 script liner. And I'm kind of just filling in those lines that the CNC already has there for me. Now, here's where I was talking about how I decide what outline color I'm going to go with first. Your black is going to butt into your blue right here. And normally, that's honestly something I really think about a lot. But on this whole piece, this is really the only part that I felt like I really had to worry about, the black butting into the blue. And so that's why I didn't think that I necessarily had to do that first. Now, if that's something that bothers you, you could always come back in at the end and take a little bit of navy blue over top of that. I think I only really talk about that because that's something that used to bother me. So I don't know, maybe that really sounds kind of silly to some of you. Like, I wouldn't care if those lines crossed, but that used to honestly be something that I just, like, it would wake me up at night. It just bothered me so bad. And I think over the years, I've been trying to get a lot better about, I think it's just being kind of a control freak about stuff. You know, but I've been trying to get better, and it hasn't bothered me as much in the last maybe year or two, but it really used to bother me if my paints kind of came over top of each other. I think my mom's helped me to kind of let some of that go, because she's like, you are making way too big of a deal over small things. All right, y'all, I'm gonna just rotate it so I can kind of finish out. I hope y'all can see this. Let me finish out the top of this right quick. It was kind of getting to a point that I'm like, okay, I need to rotate you and finish. I really like to kind of have one side completely done before I start to move on to the next side. Again, I'm gonna take kind of, it's like the same thing as shading. Take what's left in your brush. I'm not adding more to my brush. And I'm just gonna do a light up, down kind of motion around the outside. Very, very light. I'm not trying to be very heavy with that. Now my top is all done. So I feel comfortable turning it around. So at this point, I'm just gonna finish the outlining on the rest of my piece. So I kind of stick with them CNC lines. It's so nice that those are there, y'all. This makes it so easy. My mom and I were talking the other day because we started selling templates. So there's some people who the digital templates really don't work for them because they still cut templates out, you know, by hand with the lumber and jigsaw and patterns. So her and I were talking about making paper patterns. And we were just really talking about after that, kind of the transition that we did from paper patterns and using graphite paper to having to learn how to have digital patterns and, you know, really the struggle that all was. But when her and I were talking about that, it really had me reflecting on how we used to do this years ago. And we have come such a long way. I know we've said that to y'all before, but it's the truth. We've really come such a long way that I almost forget what it was like in the earlier years. So I even asked her, I was like, are patterns, like, are those obsolete now? Or like, what? And she started, you know, laughing at me, but it was quite the conversation. And so I think I say that sometimes to just reiterate how nice these CNC lines are, because we didn't have those until what, maybe 5 years ago or less than 5 years ago. So it hasn't been long, but they have been lovely, absolutely lovely to have. All right, y'all, my outlining with the black is done. I'm gonna wash out that black out of my brush. I'm gonna switch over to shading red number 23. Same color that I shaded my red with, and I'm going to outline my flesh tones with this. Now, notice on the bat, I think I probably should say this. I did clean up these bat lines with a script liner before I did my live. So I did just take regular black and I came in on the perimeter lines of the bat and just kind of outlined the bat with black, just so you have nice crisp lines. So that way when we add the white to it, you guys will be able to see it. That's the only thing I haven't showed y'all on the live that I did do. So my apologies for that. All right. Now, I outlined my white for my beard and my beard blue with navy blue number 6. Excuse me. I outlined my flesh, I shaded my flesh with shading flesh and then outlined with shading red number 23. And then I did regular gray with a shading gray that I mixed with light gray and a couple of drops of black for my shading on my gray. And then on my red, I used red number 20 and shading red number 23. Let me go ahead and move this right quick. I do have one that is already completely outlined and dry. So same thing that you guys just saw. All I need to do is add some white. So I threw my brush in the bottom of my bucket, or I think I did. Yeah, I did. So let me just grab that brush out of here, and we can add a little bit of white to this, and then this guy's gonna be done. A little bit of highlights is really all that he needs now. So I think this piece is so cute, and like I said earlier, y'all, Danae, go look at her photos. She did this, she kind of exchanged the gray for the light purple and shading purple, and it was super cute. So if you aren't 100% sold on your color palette yet, take a look at the purple and see if that's something you like. I just kind of thought to myself, maybe I need to Windex this. I did paint it a few hours ago, and there is definitely some pollen or dirt or whatever in the air today, because it had me sneezing like crazy out here. And it had my paint separating on my pumpkins I was painting today. I'm just mixing that white up. It's just a little bit separated. This has a ton of water added to it. The reason I add a lot of water to it is because I get longer strokes out of it when I'm doing highlighting. Highlighting and shading are the only times I'm gonna add water to my paint. Other than that, I never add water. I have a dog hair in my brush. Let me clean that out. I'm sorry, y'all. All right. So I kind of load it and offload it, and now I'm going to start coming in and doing a little bit of highlighting. So this is really kind of coming into those blank spaces and just adding a little bit more to it. So anytime I'm highlighting, I'm honestly barely using any pressure. You're just kind of coming in a little bit, coming in lightly, and doing some light swish marks and strokes, and allowing that to fulfill for your highlights. All right, got some dog hair on here. So let me come in, I'm gonna get a little bit of white on these eyes. Alrighty. Again, I'm gonna offload that, try to get as much excess off as I can. I had a couple little drip marks here earlier, so let me clean that up. Add a little. Now when I'm kind of coming in and doing this, I'm really using what I already have in that brush and just kind of coming in and very lightly stroking over top of that paint that's already there. I'm really not using any force, and I really have hardly anything in that brush. It's honestly quite empty. Really need to add a little more to it. Now, when it comes to doing the black shoes down here, I do very lightly kind of start and stop. Here we go again. I got animal hair. Y'all, my dogs are outside with me 24/7. and their hair is seriously all over everything out here. So it's always in my brush and it's always in my paint. And I really feel like most pieces of yard art that I do that are completed here at my house, most of them have dog hair underneath the poly. You guys just don't know it. Alrighty, let's see. I think he's done. Excuse me. The only thing that I would honestly do is let this white dry and come in with just a dab of black for a pupil on his eye. I'll try to do it right quick while we're on here, but it's honestly super wet. I don't know that it's gonna work. It's kind of like load your brush, offload your brush, and then bring it in for just a little tiny, yeah, a little tiny dribble. That white is really wet, so it's not gonna quite come out the way I want it. But here's our finished look. Let me turn it around so you guys can see. This is our vampire gnome completely finished. Hey Dawn, I'm so glad you came in. I'm sorry I'm so late to welcome you to the video. Mom says that yes, she loves the CNC etch lines. It is seriously so nice, y'all. You have no idea. And Sandy says, sounds like my house with dog hair. Sandy, seriously, the dog hair is everywhere. In fact, I just got a Bissell Crosswave Pet Pro mop vacuum thing in from Amazon today, but it didn't come till like an hour before my live, so I haven't got to open it, but I'm so excited to try it because the amount of pet hair and dirt in my house is seriously disgusting. But yes, pets and dog hair everywhere. All right, y'all, so I started with 2 coats of white as my prime. I then came in with gray, I believe it's number 24, black, I think 37, flesh, I want to say is 28, and red, number 20. I then shaded with beard blue, number 3, and outlined with navy blue, number 6. I shaded with shading flesh, number 29, and I outlined with shading red, number 23. Now on my gray, my shading color, I actually mixed regular gray with a couple of drops of black to create the shading gray, and then I outlined with black 37. On my red, this is red number 20. I shaded with shading red 23 and black number 37 on that. And that is my finished look. What do you guys think? I hope y'all like it. I hope I got my colors right, Debbie. I was doing that off of memory. I can't say for sure that I had the numbers correct on that. And then let's see, it says, my mom says she was so excited about her new mop being delivered today. Ashley, you're officially old. Seriously, y'all, I don't mind being old. I'm okay with being old. But I'm so excited about this vacuum. Look, I literally have it right here. I'm gonna show you guys. This came in today. It just came in before I went live. So this is apparently my cleaning solution. Obviously haven't opened it. And here's my new mop vacuum. Ah, so excited. I can't wait. So I'm gonna mop my floors tomorrow because it's already late tonight. And it's like getting close to my bedtime. Yeah, but I've been so excited. I can't wait to mop my floors. And whoever says, man, I'm excited to mop my floors. Somebody that has a lot of dogs and has white tile, and every time I mop, it just looks like I'm just dirtying it even more. So I saw the reviews for the Crosswave, and I thought, man, I gotta try that. I gotta try that. So Mom says the secret to the vacuum is actually using it. Really? Really, Mom? Yeah, so Joyce, Debbie, Mary, everybody, I'm so happy you guys are here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with me tonight and hanging out. I really enjoyed our time together. So that's a look at our Vampire Gnome. I know we are at the end of September. The only other live we have this month is with me on Thursday in the Painters Club, and I think I'm doing the Got Candy Cauldron. But you guys will see me next Monday night with our Happy Fall Y'all truck with the pumpkin in the back. So We'll also be releasing our calendar for October. You guys are going to know that I'm going to be here the 5th, but we haven't told anybody that. But you guys will see it on our calendar here soon. So y'all will see me on Monday. Other than that, catch me in the Painters Club on Thursday this week. But yes, I'm hoping to be feeling better soon. Breathing treatments and allergy medicine and cold medicine and staying home. That's all we're doing. And one of these days, I'll get to feeling better. But thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you, Pam. You're so sweet. Debbie, I appreciate it. Mary, I love you. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to get ready to go to bed. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see y'all Thursday. Bye, everybody. Thanks.